Imagine this. It's a chilly morning. Your alarm goes off, but you hit snooze, curling up under the blanket for just 5 more minutes. The day ahead feels heavy, your goals distant, and the voice in your head whispers, "Maybe tomorrow." Sound familiar? Now, let me take you back to a story of a young boy named Arav. Arav was like any other student, juggling school, dreams, and the pressure to succeed. His room was a gallery of unfinished projects, half-read books, a guitar gathering dust, and a vision board filled with goals he hadn't touched in months. One evening, Arav's grandfather visited. A man of simple wisdom, his life had been anything but easy. Over dinner, Arav blurted out, "Dadu, how do you stay motivated every day? I try, but I always fail. How do you keep going?" The old man smiled and gestured for Arav to follow him. They stepped outside into the crisp night air, the stars gleaming above. Dadu lit a lantern and said, "Arav, motivation isn't like this flame. It doesn't burn bright and steady on its own. It's more like the air you breathe, something you have to replenish constantly. Let me show you how." Dadu led Arav to the garden, where an old mango tree stood tall. "Do you know why this tree is here?" he asked. Arav shrugged. "Someone planted it?" "Exactly," Dadu said. "But do you think they planted it for themselves? No, they planted it so that someone years later could enjoy the shade and the fruit. That why kept them going. Every dream, every goal begins with a reason, a deeply personal why. Without it, motivation fades like a lantern running out of oil. Take a moment to ask yourself, why are you studying? Why do you want to succeed? It's not enough to say, "because I have to." Dig deeper. Are you doing it to make your family proud, to create a better life, to prove to yourself that you can? Write it down. Make it real. When your why is clear, your path becomes brighter. As they walked further, Dadu stopped by the well. "Arav, what happens if you stop drawing water from this well?" "It dries up," Arav replied. "Exactly. And that's how motivation works. It's not infinite. But discipline? Discipline is what keeps the well flowing. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline, that's your anchor. It's the commitment to show up even when you don't feel like it. Start small. If you can commit to 5 minutes of focused work, you'll find it easier to keep going. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum keeps you moving forward." Dadu reached into his pocket and pulled out a single grain of rice. "Arav, can you carry a sack of rice on your shoulders?" "Probably not," Arav admitted. "But can you carry this one grain?" "Of course." "That's the secret," Dadu said. "Big goals can feel overwhelming, like a heavy sack." Dadu pointed to a vine climbing up the mango tree. "Do you see how this vine grows stronger because of the tree?" Arav nodded. "People are the same," Dadu said. "Surround yourself with those who lift you higher. Their energy, their habits, they shape you. Motivation thrives in the right environment. Find friends who inspire you, mentors who guide you, and communities that share your ambitions. Avoid negativity, the people who tell you it can't be done. Remember, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely." As they returned to the house, Dadu placed a steaming cup of chai in Arav's hands. "Tell me, do you think I brewed this chai perfectly?" Arav took a sip and smiled. "It's delicious, but it's not perfect," Dadu said. "And that's okay. It's still worth enjoying. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Finished 1 chapter? Great. Spent 10 minutes exercising? Amazing. Progress fuels motivation, and every small win reminds you that you're capable of achieving more." Before Arav went to bed, Dadu handed him the lantern and said, "Remember, the flame doesn't keep itself alive. It needs oil, air, and care. Your motivation is the same. Keep feeding it with purpose, discipline, and celebration." And so, Arav began to change. He wrote down his why, started taking small, consistent steps, and celebrated his progress. Over time, the dusty guitar in his room began to sing, his vision board came to life, and the unfinished projects turned into stories of triumph. To all of you watching this, Arav's journey is a reminder that motivation isn't something you wait for. It's something you cultivate. It's not about feeling inspired every day, it's about showing up anyway. The secret to staying motivated is simple. Know your why, embrace discipline, break it down, surround yourself with growth, and celebrate every step forward.